Well, welcome to this ValueMed presentation and demonstration video where we're going to run you through how to perform and complete successfully a HbA1c diabetes screening test using the equipment in front of us, the all-test HbA1c test cassette in this foil. We also supply a set of instructions, comes with a read card giving you the indicative colour comparisons for your test line should it form. 2 safety lancets, one just in case you muck up the first finger prick, the buffer solution, which is critical to getting the right concentration to go into the test cassette, and packed in between these 2 little trays is your double-ended or 2-ended capillary tube, which is what you use to insert into the blood droplet that forms after you do the finger prick, and that just through capillary action fills with the correct volume of blood to add the whole capillary tube into the buffer solution. So first of all, what do we need to do before we get ready to do this test? First thing is to wash your hands really thoroughly in really warm soapy water. This both cleans the fingers and the hands that you're going to do the finger prick on, but also encourages the blood flow so that you've got good, really nice pink warm fingertips before you do the lance. So let's now show you and demonstrate the lance and how to perform this test. When you are ready to perform the test, open the 2 transfer trays so that you've got access to the little capillary tube and can access that if you are successful in your finger lance. Also, take the cap off the buffer solution and place it somewhere secure and safe that you can access it immediately when you're ready to add the blood sample in the capillary tube. And then take one of your safety lancets. This particular design, you just twist and remove the safety cap. Place it firmly onto one of your nicely warmed and dried fingers and push down. This will release the lancet, which is retracted into the device chamber, and you can see I'm starting to form a droplet of blood. If this doesn't form particularly vigorously, a trick is to stand up and drop your finger to below waist level. But it's perfectly okay just to gently massage the finger to produce a good droplet of blood as we're doing there. And then take the capillary tube and feed it sideways into the blood sample. This should start to absorb blood along the capillary tube. You don't want to push the tube downwards. It is a sideways motion that you're putting the tube into the blood sample as it forms. If you need to re-massage the finger, do so. And you're looking to fill that tube completely with blood from end to end. May take couple of minutes to do so. Now you can see that tube is completely filled. That's the correct volume of blood. So at this stage I can very carefully drop that into the buffer solution, tightly seal the lid and shake vigorously for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds the capillary tube should have discharged its blood sample into the buffer, and let that sit now for 1 minute. Well, my timer's now just going for 1 minute from when I added the solution. So at this stage, open the cap using the transfer pipette, squeeze the bulb, place it into the solution. It should draw up a good volume, and you're adding 3 drops to the sample well on the test cassette. 1, 2, 3. Any surplus can be dispatched back into the buffer container and the lid sealed. You now want to start a timer for 10 minutes as the read time for accurate results on this test is 10 minutes from when the sample is added. So we will now pause the video and come back and talk you through how to interpret the results at the 10-minute read time. At 10 minutes, it's time to read your result. In healthy individuals with no HbA1c, no glycosylated haemoglobin, there should just be a control line in the C area here and no test line discernible. Where HbA1c has been detected, then to read the relative Concentration, you compare the thickness colour density of the T line and only the T line against the example lines given here on the line comparison colour card. A faint line corresponding to the lower line on this demonstration card indicates a concentration of around 6%, and a slightly darker line indicates a concentration of 9% and above. These two lines do not appear in the zones that are shown on this example card. These are comparison lines only to compare the thickness and colour density of the T line should it occur at 10 minutes. For reference, please refer to the example window results as shown on the IFU, the instructions given or supplied with the test cassette. I know some users have found this a little confusing, thinking that the C line corresponds to the top and they're looking for a lower T line below, but you must always have the control line, and it is only the test line that you're comparing against one of these two readings. But in the majority of healthy individuals with no glycosylated haemoglobin, if you're using this, for example, to screen for type 2 diabetes, then if it hasn't occurred, there should be no T line forming at 10 minutes. If you're using this to monitor treatment for type 2 diabetes, then again, you may, if your diabetes is under good control and there's no HbA1c at 6% or above, still get a negative T line and a healthy result. So I hope those interpretation advice indicators have been helpful to you. It's a very easy and quick way of accessing a screen at home for yourself and your family for type 2 onset diabetes, which can be insidious. There's no clear-cut set of symptoms which are diagnostic for type 2 diabetes. It tends to be a creep-up type of onset until you get really severe high levels of glucose in your blood. So this test is of value as a screening tool for the majority of the population, particularly if you have a family history of type 2 diabetes. Thanks for watching.